welcome to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with second choice goalkeeper Inaki Pena, as it has been reported that the La Masia graduate is guaranteed to sign the new Barca contract. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Then secondly, talking about Memphis Depay and Sergi Roberto, as it has been reported that the Barcelona duo are staring an uncertain futures with their contract expiring at the end of this season. We're also going to be discussing about that. So guys, as we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Barca! 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 Even though Inaki Pena is yet to make his official debut for Barcelona, the 23-year-old is considered a top talent, with the club earmarking him as a long-term heir to the current first-choice goalkeeper Marc-Andre ter Stegen. The shot-stopper has been on the club's book since 2012, and he has risen through the ranks to earn himself a spot on the bench of the senior team as the number 2 to ter Stegen. Inaki Pena spent the second half of last season away on loan at Galatasaray and made a solid impression in the handful of appearances he made. It was enough to convince Xavi and co to make him the second choice in the squad and offload Neto Morera in the summer. And according to Mundo Deportivo, the next step seems to be extending the contract of the 23-year-old goalkeeper, with the La Masia ace guaranteed to sign a new deal and prolong his stay at Spotify Camp Nou. Pena's current contract with Barcelona expires 2023. The goalkeeper had penned a new deal back in 2018, which ran for 3 years until the summer of 2021 and came with an option to extend by a couple of years. And the Blaugrana had decided to take up the option of a 2-year extension back in 2020 itself, ensuring that the goalkeeper was tied down to the club at least until 2023. Now though, Barcelona will look to offer him improved terms and extend his stay for a few more years. Talks about a renewal could begin before the end of this year, as Barcelona look to ensure that they do not enter next year with another Ousmane Dembele situation on their hands. Pena was promoted to the second choice goalkeeper at the start of this season by manager Xavi after selling Neto Morera to Premier League side Bournemouth. Pena is still to make an appearance for the first team. Last season he was at Galatasaray on loan. I think he did well there. He even played against Barca in that Europa League round of 16. He did well against us. He's a good goalkeeper. There's no doubt about that. And Barcelona are contemplating of extending his contract, but no dates have been set for that. Inaki Pena, of course, will be worried that he have not played any single game, but I think Xavi will definitely use him for some Copa del Rey matches by beginning of next year. He's still 23 and still has a lot of years to be at Barca. I think, he will not be the second choice forever. There will be a time ter Stegen also will depart and he will be the one to take over as the first choice goalkeeper. So it's just a matter of him being patient. Normally he's a player that wants to be active. He left for Galatasaray. He forced the loan move last time out because he wanted to to feature in games, not to be on the bench throughout. So let's hope that Xavi can rotate him as well when games like the Copa del Rey comes, and I think it will be so important. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, why this past summer saw Barcelona make significant changes to their squad. Plans are already being drawn out for the next year, as manager Xavi Hernandez and his coaching staff look to shape their roster in the best way possible. It means that there will be plans to negotiate new contracts with players whose deals will expire next year. One star who seems so certain to pen a new deal with Barcelona is goalkeeper Inaki Pena, as I've just mentioned. But two Barca players who are staring at an uncertain future at the club, as reported by Spanish outlet Mundo Deportivo, are Sergi Roberto and Memphis Depay. Sergi Roberto signed a new contract earlier this year, but the club added just 1 year to his new deal while inserting a €400 million release clause. The La Masia graduate has done fairly well at the start of the new season but has been struck down by yet another injury. With Barcelona planning to bring in a new right back next summer, they will likely have to get rid of one of their current right backs in Hector Bellerin and Roberto. The latter's deal also expires next year, but the club are planning to discuss a new deal with him, in the month of January. As for Roberto, any potential renewal would depend on how he performs over the course of the campaign, but if injuries continue to persist, the club captain could bid goodbye at the end of the season. Meanwhile, Memphis Depay's contract runs until 2023 as well, as he had only penned a 2-year deal when he joined from Lyon. The Netherlands international is no longer a regular in the side, and given his salary, Barcelona see his extension as so complicated at the moment. Barca were even ready to sell Memphis Depay this past summer by handing him the letter of freedom. In case of renewal, the club believed that selling him will become so difficult due to his wages, so there have been no talks so far about an extension, and it seems unlikely that there will be. So Memphis and Roberto face uncertain futures. Definitely, I think they will not be there again next season, as Xavi does not even rate them highly anymore. Memphis Depay, for one, have been a player whose future has been up and down for Barcelona. It was clear that Barca wanted to sell him this past summer to Juventus, but the move collapsed. It did not materialize, and seeing as he just this 1 year left on his contract, it is quite difficult to see Barca contemplating to extend his contract. And definitely, I think it will be the last season for Memphis Depay at the Spotify Camp Nou, who will definitely leave as a free agent if his extension is not made. Then Sergi Roberto, another player whose contract expires at the end of the season. Barca extended Roberto's contract for just 1 year, and I think it will be difficult to see Barca extending the contract furthermore. We already have players like Hector Bellerin, Jules Koundé, who also plays right back, so I don't even see the need for having players like Sergi Roberto in the team. I think Xavi is even looking for Barca to sign another new right back next summer, which will further make Sergi Roberto's time at Barca useless. So there's no way I can see Sergi Roberto extending his contract with a Camp Nou. So I think those two guys, it's very likely, so likely that they depart than staying at the club next season. But let's see, things can still change at the course of the season. Things can still take a drastic turn. But looking at the futures beyond the season is so difficult. It's really difficult to see them staying beyond this campaign. So let's see how it goes. But as it stands, there are some certain players that you just think they don't have a chance. People like maybe Captain Sergio Busquets, for sure, I think he will leave. His contract expires next year, and being a veteran, an experienced veteran for that matter, who have served his best at the club since 2008, I don't see him, staying. And even though it is widely speculated that he is leaving to the MLS next year. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, it's bye.